my video on dealing with stress, which I'll link below and in the card, I touched briefly on self-care and how difficult it is to maintain one's sanity in late-stage capitalism. Life is stressful, deadlines are abundant, and bills abound. But still, we try to find a way out. Self-care as a concept has really gained popularity lately as a means of temporary escape from the grind of it all. And it's almost a necessity in these challenging times. If you've read the title of this video, you know where I'm going with this. But before I get into its issues, what is self-care? It's basically any activity that you can do to help you get through your day. Things like sleep, eating well, physical exercise, meditation, and doing things you enjoy. Self-care in some form has been around for centuries. The ancient Greeks valued it immensely, and French philosopher Michel Foucault spoke about it in his lecture turned essay, Technologies of the Self. He spoke about care for the self in the sense of getting to know yourself through active leisure, like reading, studying, and self-reflection. Black lesbian feminist Audre Lorde really crystallized the concept in A Burst of Light, a collection of essays on race, cancer, intersectionality, parenthood, injustice, and more in 1988. Self-care was a means by which people of color and the LGBTQ+ community could fight back against oppression, a way for the caste society to take a stance against the machine of capitalism. Caring for myself is not an act of self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. Self-care meant preserving yourself in a world hostile to your very identity, community, or way of life. It meant not working yourself to an early grave, practicing saying no, eating well, and being mindful of one's triggers and sensitivities, among other things. Of course, it was quickly appropriated by white corporate feminism, and these days, the self-care industry is estimated to be worth a staggering $11 billion. Self-care is broken. Capitalism has bastardized self-care. Now it's about indulgent cosmetics, luxurious spa days, overpriced candles, going on expensive holidays, doing yoga, and ignoring loved ones. Hashtag self-care on Instagram is a bottomless scroll of product placements, quotes, and white girls. It's almost as if self-care is inaccessible to those it was created to help the most. Modern self-care is meant to be a salve for white-collar workers whose jobs endlessly suck them of time, energy, and creativity. Self-care and workaholism are two sides of the same coin. Preserve yourself so you can produce more. A solution to capitalism within capitalism. A solution which doesn't actually alleviate conditions of stress, but instead lines pockets. I mean, if you're selling self-care, it helps that you've got a constant supply of customers who live in perpetual anxiety and unwellness. The poison of hyperconsumerism is even more blatant when corporations outside of the self-care industry try to capitalize on it too.
Because you're worth it.
Have a break! Have a Kit Kat!
Self-care has become shallow. Rather than a means of resistance against the system, it's been weaponized by the system. There's a pressure to perform self-care for the benefit of others. It's like we have to maintain this image of put-togetherness to mask reality. It's an individualized solution to systemic issues. It's like the system telling you to calm down while it degrades and exploits you. A pacification technique to divert your attention from larger structures. And I understand why so many fall for it. I mean, there's so much out of our control in this world. But until our care moves beyond the self and incorporates both the self and the collective, we and our society will continue to be unwell. Radical self-care. There's a reason self-care remains so appealing to people, and especially women. Women are constantly crushed under the weight of emotional and physical labor, even from an early age, as they care for their household, family, friendships, and relationships. It's easy to burn out. So, how can we take back self-care? Radical self-care is a long-term commitment to develop, protect, maintain, and improve wellness, but not in a pacifying way. It's a form of care that incorporates healing, but also engaging with the challenges around and inside us. It's not as simple as an item on the agenda. It means threatening the system by breaking the boundaries that keep us apart, interrupting isolation, and threatening hierarchies. One of the biggest lies perpetuated by capitalist self-care is that it's meant to be a solely individual activity. Self-care and community care are inextricably linked. We need to come together through our personal weaknesses and flaws and create space to synthesize care and liberation. After all, the foundation of revolution lies in nurture. Communal care is about looking after each other, outside the claws of the market, accessible to all. It's inherently anti-capitalist and can't be easily co-opted. It's about reaching out, grabbing groceries, doing dishes, watching kids. It's a commitment to compassion, to being there for people. Use radical imagination. How can this take shape in our struggle? In our groups at home, in the neighborhood, at work, or at school? Perhaps it can look like creating permaculture gardens. After all, connection with nature can alleviate distress. And by the way, I'm going to do a video on permaculture pretty soon. Or maybe it looks like a simple face-to-face conversation. In our present circumstances, it might be hard. Totally understandable. Our social networks are shrinking and we often don't have the resources, emotional, temporal, or financial, to build relationships. But if we're intentional with our bonds, our well-being can drastically improve. Communal care is how we build a healthier society. It demonstrates how we need each other to persevere. It means organizing, but carefully considering our expectations of ourselves and others. And I know that this whole section has been pretty abstract, but I want you to internalize these words. Think about it and leave a comment. How can we practice radical self and communal care? Peace. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Feed the algorithm. And check out my previous videos for other fascinating topics. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon now with a lot of great perks. Go to patreon.com/saintdrew. You can also follow me on Twitter @_saintdrew and check out my weekly blog posts on medium.com/@saint.drew. Thanks again and peace.